Mr. Sampath, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us here on Business Today Television. I want to start with the order book first. So your order book of 3,000 crore rupees, or 3,000 crore, how much of it will be executed in the current year? And can you also, tell us about the large orders that are in your pipeline?
So thank you. Good morning to you all. Thank you for having me here. So basically, the order book, what we have published is 3,000 crores as of 30th of June. This actually translates into an order inflow of about 215 crores a month. So which is up from the earlier numbers of 150 crores a month and then it moved to 175 crores a month. Why this is significant is that it means that there is good business and order inflow. Now this 3,000 crores, we typically will take about 1.5 years time to complete this order book. This year we have guided revenue of about 1,700, maybe it will be 1,700 to 1,800 crores revenue. First quarter we have done around 300 crores in the operating income side. And we think that we definitely will meet the guidance revenue that we have given. And I can see a lot of tailwinds in the marketplace across all the sectors. Key sectors that are firing up, as you know, I think it's there in the news too. Railway signaling is one of our primary sectors, used to be one of our strong sectors earlier on. It was muted for a few years earlier, but today it's again coming up. Railway signaling, industrial, automotive remains a strong sector. EV is expected to be growing from the Q2 onwards. And then, of course, we have IT sector, which got a lot of boost with announcements yesterday. So we straddle 6 different sectors, and all of them are firing in all cylinders at this point in time. So it's a question of how we execute the orders.
Mr. Sampath, good morning and welcome to BTTV. Shail Bhatnagar this side. We'll start with the PCR firing a long-term chart for your stock, and I'm sure it's been one hell of a ride for you. We've seen the price at 1,004 rupees somewhere in mid-May. And you've peaked at about 1920 somewhere on 26th of July. So a 95% rise as far as the stock price is concerned. And I'm sure it's an onerous task for you to maintain these kind of expectations from shareholders. Are you sleeping easy these days?
Yeah, sleeping less, but definitely sleeping with confidence that things are happening. Primarily, we all live well if the markets do well, especially our customers do well. And that is really firing on all cylinders, as I said earlier on. And I think government is also taking the right steps in the right direction. So I will just like to nuance this entire thing. You see, the demand for our products and services is dependent on import substitution a lot. And as of now, if you just compute the numbers imported in FY22, almost 2 lakh crore worth of material, which is a target market for us, is imported. And if that gets converted into domestic, then there is no shortage of business for not only us, but many other companies. So we see that traction happening in the ground too. The order book has gone up to about 212 crores a month. Which roughly means that we are actually setting up our company for beyond 2,000 crores in the short run. So this year, maybe we'll complete 1,700, 1,800. We have to gear up with capacities and all that. But as we go forward, this 40-45% of EBITDA, 45% of CAGR that we are talking about is eminently doable. So specifically about our company, we straddle all the different sectors. So we generally overcome any weakness in any one particular business vertical. So that is one big benefit. And second thing is our margins are dependent on many sectors. We specialize in low to medium volume, high mix, high technology, high criticality production. And a lot of it is coming into India today. So with all these factors, and also we are also doing what is known as cautious expansion of our footprint in the electronic supply chain and value chain. We have announced that we will go for OSAT, and also we will put up a bare PCB plant. So all of these things in the future, maybe they bear fruit after 2 years. In the meanwhile, our existing business will, with all its strong tailwinds, is going to keep us busy. So the whole activity is now in terms of creating capacities, doing new projects, absorbing technology, and setting the organization for the new generation of scale that Indian companies are witnessing today.
Jairam, let's dig a little deeper into the business of your company. Tell us how is the client concentration if you look at the top 10 in terms of revenue contribution, about 300 crores worth of revenue in the first quarter. How much do top 10 customers contribute in terms of top line?
Yeah, sure. It's an interesting question. We have more than 350 odd clients. Top 10 contribute about, on an average, 50 to 60% of our business. And what we see a trend is that all of these 10 customers are kind of growing hand in hand, and it won't be long to say that we'll have very strong set of large customers coming in. They all belong to different sectors too.
Absolutely. And Mr. Sampath, the company has, an ambitious plan.
Okay. And yeah, Tanya, continue, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sherry. So I was saying, Mr. Sampath, that the company has an, ambitious plan to increase aerospace's contribution to its revenue. And currently, if you see, the aerospace segment accounts for a significant portion of your company's operations. But how do you plan to increase, its revenue contribution going forward?
Yeah, so as far as aerospace is concerned, we have a very large client, and during the last year, we have completed what we call the pilot lots and approvals, etc. And we have had visits during this quarter, a couple of visits from the same client. And we see a huge tailwind in that business because India is buying a lot of aircrafts, and there is a pressure on all of these aircraft manufacturers to show value addition within India, the real value addition, not really leading value addition. So to that extent, we expect this aerospace business to really take off. And on the strategic electronics side also, we see a lot of traction, a lot of upgradation of our defenses and all that is happening. And we are also beneficiary in that respect.
Sir, let's focus on the 2 or 3 problems that the wider sector, the information technology sector, is facing. One of them is, of course, attrition and hiring. Till about 2020 and that particular year, a lot of companies were facing problems in retaining employees. Attrition levels were higher. Over the last 2 quarters, of course, these 2 problems have somehow come under control. You are seeing much lower attrition. At the same time, much lower hiring as well. What are your rates in terms of overall staff quitting as a percentage of total staff? And of course, what is the hiring pipeline?
Yeah, so as far as we are concerned, we belong to the hardware sector. So obviously, we don't have ready-made staff available in the market that we can hire and put them on use. So we do recruit from the ITIs and the polytechnics and also engineering colleges, and then we do our own intensive training in each of these sectors, etc. So typically, we have not seen a huge amount of attrition in the operating level. Of course, we've got to work hard to make sure that employees are retained, because this sector is also at this point in time booming, and there will be attempts made by other peer group companies to attract talent. So what we have done actually in the past, we've realized this even during the listing time, and we have one of the largest program for largest footprint, if I say so, for ESOP. We have covered more than close to about 500 employees in the ESOP during the IPO listing. And this includes all the operating level guys and everybody, junior to senior staff. So this gives us some kind of at least a a good story for the people, saying that the company is sharing its benefits with the employees and so on, and this helps as a mode for attrition. And also, when we go forward into other areas like ATMP, that is OSAT, that is semiconductor, PCB, etc., and also some of the newer technology, like you said, information technology outsourcing, or let's say telecom, etc., we also have to onboard people who may not necessarily be familiar to us, because we go into newer areas. In many cases, we have to get people from outside the country too, because the country may not have the talent pipeline that's required. So we are taking all of those steps. So we understand that next 5 to 10 years is the time when we can benefit from this huge tailwind that is happening, and we can take off this company into a larger orbit. For that, we may have to do some of these changes in our mindset. We should acquire people from outside the country also, and so on. So we have done that, and also one look at our company's various activities, we file into the exchanges, etc. You know that our newer people are coming onto the board, and then we are onboarding people. So we're looking at the entire South Asia as our source for talent, and we'll make sure that the requisite talent is made available. There are a lot of people available. We have a strong training program at the working level. So I think it's going to be challenging, but it will be a very interesting challenge.
Okay, absolutely got that. And on that wonderful note, thank you so much, Mr. Sampath, for taking the time out and sharing these wonderful insights with us and being with us here on Business Today Television. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanya ji. Thank you, Shel ji.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.